What do you do when nobody's around to hear you scream?
I don't know what this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on.
When your closest reach for help is miles away, and the only thing stopping an unwanted intruder is the nearest tree to hide behind and your own sense of survival. What you are about to see are a collection of terrifying and unsettling encounters that have occurred just outside the reach of humanity, in places where no one may be able to find you, and around bushes where no one may ever look. Welcome to Pixels After Dark, and let's explore terrifying things found in the woods. In early 2024, YouTuber The Northwest Wind went stealth camping off a local dog park and walking trail. Luckily, he didn't venture too deep, as the purpose of stealth camping is pretty much camping wherever you choose. The downside of this, however, being that staying close to public landmarks does make you easily noticeable. You run the risk of meeting anyone who might appear in this park on this night. Surrounded by darkness and trees, you only have to hope that those who do find you aren't dangerous. The man soon finds a nice area to set up camp, however became noticeably distracted by something in the distance.
It's not crappy quality. It's nice strings, all of that. Sorry. And the design is actually printed on the hoodie to where you wash.
He decided to ignore this and continued setting up his camp. However, it wasn't long before an unsettling dread began to wash over the forest.
I don't know what it is here, but I keep feeling like somebody's watching me, and it's like very, very strong feeling, like hair on the back of my neck standing up. I don't know.
With the hopes that he could just wake in the morning and finally leave this eerie situation, this YouTuber was in for one of the scariest experiences of his life. As he began to lay down, he heard footsteps approaching his tent, and soon they were right by his side.
There's somebody, hang on. I don't know if they can see it or not through the tent. I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent. They're really close now. They're like, listen. I'm getting the out of here. Hello? Hello? I don't know what this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on. Hello? Okay, they're walking away now. What do you want? Went this way. I see you. Get away! They went over that way. I can't see them now. I know you're there. I see you. They collapsed my tent on me and pulled the fly off while I was still in there. It smells like someone's smoking a cigarette too. I smell your cigarette! All right, they're moving again. I don't know, I'm getting out of here. We're going. I'll come back for this some other time.
He didn't hesitate to run back to his car. However, as he began to leave, the strangers continued to follow.
He tripped, fell right on my face. Hang on, is this still recording? You see that? I see you! I can see you!
Luckily, he made it back safely to his car, with his last sight being the flashlight in the distance growing larger. In October of 2022, a hiker decided to go camping within the trees and brush of a nearby forest. He put together a fire and then went exploring while filming the surrounding area, something he did frequently on his YouTube channel. The forest was eerie, to say the least. Growth was minimal and all the trees were drained of life, leading the man to coin the forest something rather fitting.
So many dead trees. I think I'm gonna name this one Dead Forest.
He traveled on, but as the man traveled deeper, he began to lose his sense of direction.
Man, this place is so lonely. Imagine just being lost out here. It feels like this would never end. I hope I'm not getting lost here. I'm pretty sure camp is back this way.
Despite this, however, he trusted his own instincts and ventured further, something he would soon come to regret. See, it wasn't long after this that the hiker realized he wasn't alone.
Oh, fuck.
A sound heard as clear as day and nearby. A voice of what seems to be a young girl calls, "I see you." The man runs frantically, trying to find his way back to his camp while staying aware of what lies in front of him. He continuously checks his surroundings and soon discovers an old and weathered deer stand. Although this was likely exclusively used for hunting, who knows who repurposed this to get a better view of those camping nearby. The man eventually found his camp and never discovered what he heard on that terrifying night, and to this day, it remains a mystery. Travel with Gary and Amika follows a father and daughter as they explore the world in their self-built camper van. Visiting all sorts of places around the world, it's just expected that the two might eventually run into some unsettling encounters and locations. When exploring the UK and hiking through Tetsmere Forest in Scotland, the two discover something terrifying: an unnerving cabin in the woods.
We just stopped to look in these woods. Look at how scary that is. Put the torch on. Whoa.
Scattering the outside were many dressed up mannequins in various positions. Some were sporting stylish hair, while others were propped up on ladders leaning against trees. The entire scenery is very liminal and unnerving, and it only gets more disturbing when you investigate the cabin. The outside walls were painted with crude depictions of naked women in sexual positions, and the name of the building was marked as the second best exotic COVID hotel. Some people think it might be an art project or some sort of strategically placed troll, while others think it might be some sort of meeting ground for a certain activity. I think I can let you use your imagination to figure out what that might be. As the two began to leave, they noticed a car driving towards the cabin. The father noted that he began to freak out, however kept his composure, trying not to scare his daughter. They both got back to their van safely and left with the memory they surely wouldn't forget. In 2021, a man named Phil, owner of the Hike Slam YouTube channel, went hiking on a section of the Appalachian Trail in Virginia. He began his journey, however it was only about 30 minutes until things took an eerie turn. He found a collection of litter and garbage placed just off the main sector of the trail that had some unusual writing scattering the surface. The words don't seem to make much sense, and it honestly just seems like mentally unwell ramblings. It was creepy, but Phil proceeded on, only to find something much more sinister shortly ahead. Phil discovered a much larger collection of trash and rocks filled with wild ramblings. Some of the more noteworthy things that he found was a rock that had many references and conspiracies to the FBI, another rock that referenced a character named the Wolfman, and finally, a freshly killed duck.
That duck is fairly recently killed. All right. Kind of creepy. There's a fire down there.
Phil then noted that he found two women who were freaked out by the mysterious man. They asked if Phil could accompany them back to their car, and after doing so, finished his camping expedition in a different sector of the Appalachian Trail.
I'm gonna check out the shelter log here. I hang out by the fire. Almost every shelter on the Appalachian Trail has a shelter log where people write in their trail names and what's going on. They can write whatever they want in there. So it's kind of cool tradition here. All right, let's see what's happened recently. Holy crap. Wait a second. Hold on, let me adjust the camera here. This writing looks almost exactly like the writing that was on that garbage a couple of miles from here. This is the same ramblings from the guy that was on the other side of the river. That's kind of scary. Think grave robbery in an attempt to obscure the reality of little Mrs. Wolf.
What you just witnessed was a metal wire that nearly decapitated a man driving an ATV. Luckily, the wire broke before the helmet could, and the man survived. However, this is a consistent problem.
A social media post warns trail riders about dangerous booby traps in the woods.
All over YouTube, you can find evidence of psychopaths setting up steel wires along bike trails, with the hope that it will slice through and greatly injure unsuspecting bikers. Sometimes riders are able to narrowly avoid these traps, however some realize too late and are left with lasting injuries. Please use this as a reminder that danger can lurk anywhere. Whether it's in broad daylight or late at night, it's always important to stay wary and learn how to correctly navigate the dangers that can accompany a simple trip through the woods. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. This has been Pixels After Dark, and as always, enjoy the night.